What up and welcome to the Beneath the Dirt podcast. I'm your host, Rombone. Thank you for tuning in. We're back. Another Thursday, another special guest. Had to get him. I had him on my whiteboard for a little while as a person to get on the show. Got him on this week. What's up? Luke the Goon in the fucking ha!
What's up, brother? Yeah, I was wondering. I was seeing all these guests come on. I'm like, damn, bro, where am I at?
Yep. You're on the whiteboard. I was able to erase your name from the want list and put you onto the scheduled list. So
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I think I was first on your show. What was it, your 50th episode or whatever it was?
it was either like the 50th or like the 1 year anniversary or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It might have been the 1 year anniversary. And I remember you because I hadn't been really on anything. I'd done a couple videos and that was it. And I guess when I was backstage, you saw that I had a mic and you're like, okay, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Because I remember you had hit me up before that, and I was like, who the fuck is Luke the Goon?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I'm down to be on your show. I'm like, okay. And then I saw you sitting backstage. I was like, should I let this dude on? And I saw you had the mic. I was like, all right, we'll give him a chance. And then it was like, all right, turns out he knows his shit. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
it all started from there.
Yeah, it did. Because then I think Mike Sears was on that one as well, and it kind of we had like the trio for a while where we were streaming on each other's channels and shit.
Yep.
It's been a ride, brother.
Yes, sir. Now you're busy. You're the part of the Goons Cloud Gallery doing the 5-piece every week, which is like ever since UFCD. Like I know it pops up every once in a while. Like 5-piece to me has taken that number one spot.
Yeah, it's been fun. We've only missed 1 week. We've been doing it for almost a year. We've missed 1 week. So every single week we missed 1 week, I think, because Brandon, Joker's Gallery, like had a toothache or some shit like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised it's gone this long because there's only so many 5 pieces you could do. But then like Brandon will hit us up with like the next month or two, and I'm like, damn, I guess there are more 5 pieces that we can do. We haven't even done top 5 Xul songs yet, which is kind of crazy.
Oh wow. Yeah, like when it first started, I was like, oh, this is a cool idea, but it'll like run out like UFCD did, just because, like you said, how many 5 pieces can you do? But you guys come up with them every week, and it's always something fresh and dope.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised as well. Like I said, like I had no idea that we'd be able to do that many, and we're still got like another like month ahead that we still have ideas for.
That's fucking dope. One of my favorite episodes you guys did was the Tech 9 5-piece because I think I told Brandon. I told Brandon and Mike this. I was like, when I was watching that show, I was like, oh, this is going to be all Angelic and Angelic and Absolute Power. It's just going to be songs off those 2 albums. But it was the most diverse Tech 9 top 5 from all 3 of you. I was like, yo, this is fucking so dope, because I wasn't expecting it. I thought seriously it was going to be like the first couple albums from Tech, because everybody regards that as like classic Tech 9, you know? So I thought it was just going to be all that. But it wasn't. It was super dope.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a couple like newer songs. Like I think I had Fragile on my list, and I think Fear, because he's got some songs that hit hard for me where I'm like, damn, because he has a lot of songs like that. Like I think a lot of people think of him as like a club type dude, you know what I mean? But he's got some songs that like are pretty hard hitting and shit. So absolutely. But yeah, like that one, like what you're saying about them being like weird choices. Sometimes we think that, and then like we do the episode, and I'm like, I hear like somebody says a song that I hadn't thought of in like 10 years or something. Like, damn, where did that one come from? And then some of them are really hard. Like the hardest one for me to do was the top 5 non-underground artists. They were like, I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna say? So if you go back and you watch that episode, my list is stupid. Except for maybe like the top 2. The top 2 are like genuine, but the other 3, I think I put like Kevin Gates on the list and shit. Like
yeah.
I was like, I don't know who to put on there because I don't really listen to a whole lot of like, I don't know, mainstream type artists. I don't know.
Right. That would have been a wild one for me. I would have came up with some wild top 5 main like non-underground shit. I would have came up with some wild shit with that, because I fuck with it. pretty much everything except country. I know it's like cliche to say it, but I just
Yeah, I mean,
can't.
it's true. It's cliche to say, but it's true for a lot of
It's
people.
like I just
Me
can't
too.
get into it. Like I fuck with pop music. Like I can get into some Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, but I
Well,
can't
yeah,
get into
you did a Britney Spears record on your little shake up thing, didn't you?
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh, Kelly Clarkson. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. People were hitting me up like, yeah, that's right.
But you were also a part of one of the most iconic moments in five-piece history.
Yes.
We did a top 5 blaze, and I go to my number 1, and I think it was at Gang Rags, and you went, "What?"
Yeah. Dead man walking. Walking out.
And
I'm like, what?
everybody was like, "What?" I can't help it. I love that song, man.
It's a good song. Like I said, it's a good ass song. Like Blaze performs that shit. I'm walking it out with him. Like
Yeah,
that shit
see?
is fucking fire. But the number one Blaze song,
Yeah.
yeah, that shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, the reactions are classic. We're talking about doing like a highlight reel of all like the like crazy moments that have happened on five piece and shit. That'll definitely be on there.
Oh,
Then
for
also
sure.
when I kicked Darby off the stream
Yeah.
for
That was
saying like
hilarious.
the Yum Yum's lure. I think it was before Yum Yum Bedlam came out. He was like, I actually kind of like Yum Yum's lure, and I was like, kick.
Get the boot. That
And now
was
his
funny.
name has become a verb. Like anytime somebody does something stupid, like you're gonna get Darbied right now.
That shit was a funny moment. I remember when that clip got posted. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And then you let him back in. He's all laughing and shit.
He's a good dude. He's a good dude.
He is. Shout out to Darby.
Yeah.
Darby's that guy. But yeah, killing it with the 5-piece. You haven't done top 5 Zool yet?
No. I mean, we've done like top 5 Mausoleum songs. And I think one of the reasons why we've held it out for so long is because we did like on Mike's channel, we did top 10 Zool songs.
Yeah.
It was me, Mike, and were you on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you were on that one. Yeah. And so I think that's why we've held off on doing top 5 Zool songs.
I was gonna say there's 5 good songs on Mausoleum.
Bro, we always make fun of you for not liking that record.
I'll always catch the heat for that one. That's okay.
I know. I think that one time we were backstage and I played Rituals of Rot for you, and you were like listening to it, and then I think the hook came on. You're like, nope, not that song.
Shout out to Zool too. I'm not hating just to hate.
Yeah. Mausoleum's just not one of your favorites.
Nope. Speaking of Zool, so I was thinking of this a little while ago. Like they kind of disappeared from doing the Tuesday night streams. So they were, I'm going to speculate, recording the new record with Mikey Clark during that time, taking the break off. What do you think? What do you think of that? Or what do you think that record is actually being worked on yet?
I mean, it's definitely had parts of it worked on already. That's
Yeah.
for sure. I can tell you that. Whether they were using that time to record it, I'm sure they were using that time to hone it. You know what I mean? Because I'm about 90% positive that picture that they took with Mikey Clark that they posted was taken during Astronomicon weekend, because they had said like, oh, we're going to, record in Detroit. And I was thinking that they were going to meet up with Slasher Dave, because Slasher Dave was also in Detroit.
Right.
So I'm about 90% sure that they were with Mikey Clark then. Yeah, that record is going to blow some people's minds.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, Mikey Clark is that guy, and we haven't heard him collaborate with too many people outside of ICP, Prozac, little bit of Twisted, not much. He never really did much Twisted. It was a little bit here and there. He did the reissued tracks on Most Tasteless when they reissued it. And those are fucking fire. I was bumping those like probably a couple months ago at this point. And just as like I put them in a playlist as like its own standalone EP, and those fucking songs are so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be really curious to see how like the how do I put this? How I guess like other juggalos, people who don't really like AXE, think of the record with Mikey Clark.
it's definitely going to draw ears to that project because it is Mikey Clark, and the haters are going to go listen to it, and maybe just to hate, or maybe convert a couple. Because I mean, Axe is catching strays just because of affiliation.
Mhm.
I say it all the time. It's unfortunate for these other acts that just aren't getting the love that maybe they deserve, just because they're affiliated with Twisted and Magic Ninja.
Yeah, see, that's the major problem. I was thinking about this the other day, is that like independent artists who are coming up in the scene are like fucked because like Psychopathic's not signing people. So you're not going to get on Psychopathic. And if you sign with MNE, you're immediately losing a huge chunk of fans because there are people that just won't fuck with anything that MNE sign. So as an independent artist, you're kind of fucked unless like you're, like Buckshot or like one of these guys that like, have been around for a while and have like or LSP. LSP is kind of like the middle ground, but LSP is not, doesn't have the footing that like MNE or Psychopathic have.
Right. And you do have guys like DC Fago guys. Shout out to DC, who doesn't like Twisted, won't listen to their records, won't buy their records, but will go and support a Buckshot, support a Blaze, other acts on M&E. There's people holding a grudge just towards Twisted because if you're gonna hold a grudge, it should be against just those people, not everybody else, just because they're standing around the situation.
Yeah. Because I can tell you, there are people that are on MNE that don't really like Twisted. I can tell you that. It's a necessary evil for some of these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they need the extra push because it is going to give you a push. It's and like they have to weigh the option. Like, do we want to alienate some people but gain a lot of fans pretty much at once? Or do we want to grind it out and then hopefully get as many fans as we would have gotten with signing with MNE?
Right. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Because I think AXC probably would have gotten there. It just would have taken a lot longer.
For sure.
Especially with like establishing a Long Live Evil right now. They would have gotten there, I think, eventually. But it would have been I don't think they would be where they're at right now if they hadn't done it.
No, maybe not, or maybe so. Who knows?
Yeah.
They were definitely on that track, regardless whether it got speeded up or not. I think it did for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of people that hadn't heard of acts before that, or other acts that were signed to Magic Ninja, Gorilla Voltage, they were Damn Dirty Apes before they got signed. I remember they announced Gorilla. I was like, who the fuck is this? Lex. I was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah. Gibby was the one where I was like, who the fuck is Gibby Stites?
Yeah.
I was like, who is Gibby Stites? I had no idea who he was.
Yeah. And that's dope, giving people a shot that people probably don't know of or had heard of. Or maybe
it's one of the only reasons to sign to a record label anymore is to get promotion. That's literally almost the only reason to sign to a record label anymore.
Yeah, because you could distribute your own shit. You could press up your own shit. You could do your own merch. You could do everything that a label could provide for you. But there's that automatic fan base, right? That built-in fan base that you have access to now. You're right. That's the only reason why anybody would sign to a record label. And most people that sign to record labels, they sign to a record label and then fucking do their own. Look at Axe. Look at Ouija Mac. It's like, yeah, they're part of the label, but they're doing their own thing at the same time.
Yeah.
They're just grinding their fucking ass off. And that's how it should be. You don't get signed or, get an opportunity and then you're like, oh, I made it. Just fucking put my feet up and just chill. That's what some people do.
I mean, there are some that do that right now on
yeah, it happens all the time.
Where you're like, you don't see them at all, and you're like, what's that guy doing? And then
it happens. M&E, Psychopathic, Strange Music, just it happens everywhere. People get signed and they're like, I did it. Mission accomplished. Like, no, motherfucker, this shit just started.
Yeah, this is where the work begins, motherfucker.
Yeah, like you just started. Like you're back. You're essentially you're at square one again.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's one of the worst things you could do because people get their eyes on you at that moment, and then you take the foot off the pedal, and everybody's like, "Well, what's this guy doing?" Like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
and you could lose core like fans that you had acquired previously too, because some motherfuckers would be like, oh, they're with them now, or they just don't like the moves that they're doing, and then you could lose fans that way too.
So I got a question for you about the same thing. If AXE ever left MNE,
Mm-hmm.
do you think they would gain fans by leaving MNE? Like keep their core following and maybe some MNE people, and then the people who don't like them being on MNE, do you think they will add people onto the mix? Or, I mean, actually, people can answer this question in the comments too. If you don't like AXE, and if they left MNE and just solely ran Long Live Evil, would you fuck with AXE then?
I've thought about that. I've thought about that pretty much about every artist on Magic Ninja, but more specifically Axe. And I don't know. And if the answer is yes, that's kind of some sucker shit.
I know, but it's because I actually I know specifically one person who would, because I talked to him backstage. I mention his name because he don't give a fuck. It was Siznak. He was like, yeah, if they left MNE, I would fuck with them again because he liked them before they signed to MNE. He's like, yeah, if they get up, that's why I'm like, I wonder if they would gain more people if they actually left.
That's so weak, though. It's so weak.
I know, Siznak, if you're watching this, you're weak.
Shout out to Sizz.
Sizz is the homie, but like
Sizz is so ill because when I started doing, if anybody that follows me on Instagram and you follow my stories, I started doing this thing where I talk about random CDs or whatever. And after the very first one I did, it was just random. I didn't plan on making it a reoccurring thing. I put up a poll. I was like, do you want me to continue doing this? Yes or no? Only one person voted no. And it shows you who votes yes and no. And it was Siznak who voted no.
Well, he's
shout out
you with that one.
So shout out to Siznak for keeping it real. That was so fucking fire that he voted no.
You know, it's funny. Like what we're talking about with this is, I think Blaze and maybe Boondocks are the only people on MNE that really seem immune to that shit.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah, because maybe because they've been around so long too, you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. Blaze and Boondocks do have an immunity to some degree.
Yeah, to some degree. I mean, there are still people that are like not at all, but
right. Because there's people that look at them going with MNE like they, people call MNE the WCW. You know?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you didn't think Blaze was going with Twisted, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like that was their boy from way back, you know?
Yeah. They put him on.
Right. Boondocks was a little bit of a surprise, and I could see the WCW comparisons at that point, and then Young Wicked and A&B. I mean, shit, even Killa fucked with them and put out the Eastside Ninjas project.
Yeah, I remember that was a big, like, everybody was like, what? Is he on MNE now? Which he's clearly not, but like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's like, is he going to be at the gathering now? Because he didn't actually make the last gathering, did he? Oh yeah, that's because he was at Attack of the Ninjas. That's why he didn't go to the last one.
Yeah, I don't think they fuck with ABK because it was on one of their live streams. It was either Patreon, Twitch, or YouTube or some shit, on the Shaggy and the Creep show. But like somebody brought up ABK and Shaggy was like, we won't talk about that guy. So I think he's been outcasted or whatever.
Exiled, yeah.
From the psychopathic circle, which is unfortunate because, I mean, during that whole shit, the ABK was doing live streams on Facebook saying psychopathic for life. Like, I'm down with this shit for life.
I think he still feels the same way. I think now he's in a similar situation that Buckshot's in, where Buckshot fucked with psychopathic heavy. Like he went to the fucking march.
Yeah.
And shit. Now they won't fuck with him because he's, featured a couple MNE artists and like fucks with them too. So it's like, I think ABK is now in that same position where he's kind of like, well, fuck, I still like you guys, but you know, you don't fuck with me no more. So,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and I think ABK is probably just looking for a paycheck with that ESN stuff. I mean, I'm sure those are his homies, but he's gonna get paid to do it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Where with psychopathic, you ain't gonna get paid to do shit. And if you get paid, it's probably like $100. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, well, look at ABK's output of music though. At the same time, he really ain't doing much.
mm-hmm.
You know, he gave us Tampon Juice like 3 years ago. Supposedly, Always Bringing Knowledge is coming out soon, but it's been 3 years since the last project. Yeah, he did the East Side Ninja shit. He did do Drive By with Blaze, but it's like, his output just isn't there. Like the grind, it just doesn't seem like it's there.
Yeah.
Even if he's fucking with Twisted, it's just like he's fucking with him, but the output is like the East Side Ninjas project. It was a short project. It's like what, 10 songs or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And every drive-by project is like 6 songs. Why can't we get a fucking full-length drive-by project?
Yeah.
But I mean, ABK is definitely doing it for the bag because actually he did drop that 420 EP last year, I think. And I think it was the intro to that shit, or there was an intro on some project that he did where it was like he was like talking to somebody. He's like, "Hey, you want to come get this bag with me real quick?" Basically referencing like, "Hey, like I'm just sitting here doing nothing, but my boys over here want me to come fuck with them. I'm sick of kind of standing around waiting for my other boys to fuck with me, but they're not. So I'm gonna go get this bag."
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is too. He also did that knockoff Riders project too. Remember?
Oh yeah, which was fire. That shit was so good.
Yeah, I always laugh though because I think about when you bought the CD and it was like a see-through CD.
Yeah, mad cheaply pressed. Mad cheaply pressed. It was a white cardboard sleeve with a sticker on it.
That's something else we got to talk about with ABK. ABK, if you're watching this, I do this all the time. I address people straight to the camera. Get a professional photographer or an artist to draw your cover art, bro. Like,
yes,
it's not that expensive, bro. It's really not. It's like maybe like you could get 8 legs. Well, he's kind of retired right now, but I'm sure if you hit him up, he'd probably do you a cover for like $150. That ain't shit.
Right. There's plenty of dope graphic artists in the underground
a lot.
that could do some shit. Did you see that Always Bring a Knowledge graphic?
Yeah, isn't it like just a picture of him, like fucking
with like a book?
Yeah.
Like super MS Paint type shit. Like
I don't know. Maybe that's like part of the appeal that he think he has. Is like, hey, I got
like
shitty
with the solo Riders project that he did. I could kind of give it a pass, kind of, but not really, because even if you're doing some knockoff, we jack everything type shit, it should still look fucking appealing to the eye.
Yeah.
Like I get what he was going for with the cover, with the Eazy-E, paying homage to Eazy-E and all that, but like we can have shit look good and be dope, like it ain't that hard.
Yeah, it's really not.
Like the graphics I come up with are better than the shit that he be coming up with, and I'm not.
I know.
I'm not a graphic artist at all.
Hit up Joker's Gallery, Brandon. He'll do a cover for you.
Yeah, like man, but I mean, I fucks with ABK though. I really do. I'd like to see. I'd like this the output to be of music to be more frequent, and just the overall look of everything to be better.
Yeah. When I saw him in December at the Old School Oddities show, he killed it. Like in my opinion, he stole the show. He still got that live performance shit on lock.
There were shows back in the day when he was opening up for ICP and Twisted, like 03, 04, 05, where it was like, yo, ABK had performance of the night tonight. Like he's up there with no hype man, just fucking murdering it. And he still puts on a good show.
Oh hell yeah! Like I said, I thought he stole the show that night, man.
That's fucking dope, man. Like I remember the Psychopathic All Stars tour. I don't remember if you remember that tour. It was ABK, Blaze, Isham, and Jumpsteady. It was kind of like the B-side of Psychopathic, you know what I mean? And ABK, it was a revolving headlining too on that tour. Like one night Blaze would do it. It was a revolving headlining tour. the one I saw, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, ABK headlined. Even if he didn't, the performance I remember the most that night was ABK. I just remember him playing I Can't Help It and going, just losing my shit. I'm like, I can't help it in the pit, just going fucking crazy. At the Palladium, that's when like even like Blaze and ABK could pack out the Palladium at 2,000 people. Like that was like when Juggalo shit was at its peak, and like just people would go nuts for that shit. But I remember that performance and going nuts for ABK.
Yeah, I saw him. I also saw him when I was at Attack of the Ninjas at Astro last year, but he was a part of like ESN, so it was a little bit different. But that place was packed. I think it was called like the Blind Pig or some shit like that. That place, like, I don't remember what the capacity was, but it had to have been over capacity.
Yeah, I remember I looked up capacity for that. I think it was like 300 or something.
Yeah,
It was
there
mad.
was more than that there.
It was mad small. I remember that. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't many. It was like a few hundred, maybe 500 at the most. But it was small.
Yeah, it was. It looked like a dive bar. It was kind of like a dive bar spot. Man, that place was packed to the fucking gills, man.
Yeah, I remember seeing footage from that shit, and I was like, God damn, they packed that motherfucker out.
Yeah, it was a wild show too, man. Especially like at the time because it was still like I guess it was surprising that there were so many people there because the whole COVID thing was still. I mean, I guess it's still going on, but back then it was a little bit more extreme. But yeah, that place was packed like sardines, bro.
Man, I keep saying it, but I'm ready to get back to shows. I really am. I wish I lived in the Midwest. The Midwest gets so much love.
I was gonna say I've been going to shows pretty much the entire time. Like there was a little stretch there in when it first came in what was it 2019? Was it 19? No, it was 2020, right? Where COVID hit.
Yeah,
there was a stretch there from like March through December where I didn't go to any shows, but I went to a show that January, the Cody Manson Psychoactive release party, and that was a weird ass show because like it was in a bar, Shadows, and like everybody had to sit down. Like you had to sit down, and they had like tarps all over the place.
Damn.
And the cops came in at one point, like,
yeah.
Wow. But it was a dope show. I think Scum was there. It was a dope show. But yeah, I mean, I've been going to shows pretty much since it started. I haven't gone to any of the shows where like I've been lucky. I haven't had to like proof of vaccination or like, proof of whatever. I haven't gone to any of those shows. Like I know Suicide Boys did tour and all their stops had like you had to show proof of vaccination or
yeah. I've been to 2 shows since this whole fucking shutdown fucking happened. I went to Conway. I forget. It was probably 4 or 5 months ago at this point, maybe even more. Just there was no restrictions, nothing. Either you wore a mask or you didn't, whatever. And then I went and saw Evanescence, and that was like you had to show proof, you had to wear a mask. But as soon as people showed their proof, we got by that security people just ripped that shit right off. How are you going to tell 15,000 people to put their shit on? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not what you can do about it.
No, like Evanescence, they pack out huge fucking venues.
Yeah.
But as far as like underground shit, DJ Clay and Misery came to my area, I think earlier this month, and I should have went, but it was on a work night. I always make excuses, but I should have went to that because
it was like a real short tour, wasn't it? Like 5-6 dates. Yeah.
It was like the it was like a New England mini tour.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucks with Misery. I like Misery, even the shit that he's done post Psychopathic. And I fucks with DJ Clay. Like there was no reason why I shouldn't have went to that show. But it is what it is, I guess. I'm just like I just see these shows pop up, ICP, Twisted, fucking whatever, and it's like Ohio, Illinois, and it's like, come on, man, come out this way.
Yeah, we got to get you out to Campbellsville too, sir.
Got to get me out to Campbellsville too. You got to get me out to the Gathering.
The first Campbellsville was dope as fuck, but it was cold as fuck too. Like, but it was the good and bad because the ground was like it was all muddy and shit. But because it was so cold, it held the mud together.
Yeah.
So it was, win lose.
Right. what you think it's going to be like now that it's going to be happening in the warmer months, and it will. Another reason why it was probably so muddy is because they just got done doing the haunted house for Halloween.
Mhm.
Because is that place only open during the Halloween season?
Yeah, yeah, I think they do, like, little events, I think, but, yeah, they're only open, like, continuously, like, during the Halloween months and shit.
So how do you think that's going to be in the warmer months this year?
You mean, like, in terms of, like, attendance or, like, in,
Well,
like
attendance, like the I guess the amenities, how
yeah,
it
yeah,
like.
yeah. I'm, I don't know, I've been asking people about that were at the first Camp Zool. I'm like, "I don't know how this is gonna go," because like, the first one was, like, everybody who really wanted to be there were fucking there. It was, like, the hardcore fucking Zooligans that were there, and so it was, like, all love, like, I don't know, it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? It was
Yep.
like, pinch yourself, like, "I can't believe this is fucking happening," type shit, and so, like, Camp Zool 2, it's gonna be, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how many, what kind of people are gonna show up, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just hoping it doesn't get to, like, the party gathering stage, you know what I'm saying? It's only 2, so it's not gonna be there yet, but, I'm gonna love the fucking warm weather, bro. I don't care how hot it gets. I'm one of those people that, like, I'll be sweating, I'll be happier than if there's snow.
Yep.
Uh, it's 3 nights this year rather than 2 like it was last year. And I think they're only doing 1 stage. I've heard people saying there's only gonna be 1 stage as opposed to 2, which I think
Okay.
is a plus because the second stage was, like, kind of in a weird location and, like, you couldn't always tell if somebody was performing because they also had a DJ there. So, like, was it somebody performing or was it a DJ playing the music that you're hearing? So 1 stage will be a plus. Um, I don't know if they're gonna perform all 3 nights. That'll be interesting if they do 3 different sets. I'm almost
Mm,
thinking they're gonna pull, like, what ICP are doing with The Gathering, where they perform maybe 2 nights, and then the first night, they put, like, somebody that they're really, looking at for Long Live Evil as the headliner that night. I don't know.
right. It'll be interesting. Have they announced any? I don't think they've announced any performances yet.
Mm-mm, no, nothing yet, nothing official.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. June 3rd through the 5th. So yeah, it's gonna be fucking warm for sure.
Yeah, like I've been saying, no rain and we'll be good.
Yeah.
But if they do all the performances in the at the main stage, which is like inside this there's like a little saloon there. The rain really won't be too much of a factor. Um, it won't be as bad as it was like if they had the outside stage. Because the outside stage, nobody was moshing, nobody was doing shit because like the mud, like I said, like it was kind of,
Right.
especially in that area where everybody's walking around.
Yeah. And it was fucking freezing as fuck. I
Yeah.
remember seeing footage. You just see people's breath everywhere. Like, god damn.
Yeah, I had on my hoodie and I had on my big Camp Zool puffy jacket and a
Yeah.
beanie with the hood up.
I remember when they announced that shit. I was like, god damn, it's gonna be fucking cold November in Ohio. Fuck that.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard about it, and I remember exactly when it was. I heard about it, like, probably in, like, September or something like that, and they were like, "Oh, it could happen this year. It might happen this year," and I'm like, "Ain't gonna happen this year." I'm like, "Ain't no way it's gonna happen this year."
And there were
And then
people that actually camped out too.
yeah, yeah, there were I mean, there were some people that, like, were gonna attempt to camp, and then they were like, "Nope, fuck this," and got a hotel. But, yeah, there were people who camped. I was like, "Man, you crazy."
Crazy as that's like some Survivor Man type shit.
Yeah, because I think at the end of night 1, it even snowed a little bit. It was like
Damn.
most of the time it was just freezing, freezing, and there really was no snow. But the end of the last night, there were like snowflakes coming down. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going back to my hotel."
How many people were there last year, you think?
It's tough to say. I'd say 300 to 400, maybe a little bit more than that.
Yep.
It's
So
always a
that
little hard to like guess the number of people in a crowd, I guess.
yeah. It should be bigger this year,
Oh yeah,
especially with the warmer months.
yeah. I already know there's a whole bunch of people that have like been like that are gonna go that didn't make it last year that I know about.
I mean, it seems like they're still picking up new fans as they're going. They're still fucking pumping out mad masks and selling them out. I don't know how the fuck they like there's so many masks now, but they still sell out.
Yeah, yeah. I stopped buying them. I stopped
Yeah,
collecting.
I saw your video. You're like, yeah, this is the first one I bought in a minute.
It's just, I mean, really, I mean, I guess I'm gonna get real here for a second. The market completely crashed on those masks. Like,
Oh
if you
yeah,
had a mask before, you had like a 2.0, say, and I mean, there are multiple that I bought for like this much, where it was like $300 or some crazy amount. Now you're lucky to move one for like 200. It's
yeah,
really like they used to move really fast, and now it's like you go in that alley and you'll see masks sitting for like 120. You're like,
yep.
damn. So like I never bought them for the resale value, but I stopped buying them because one, it's a lot of money to fucking buy a mask every month or so like that. And like especially recently, some of the designs have gotten repetitive. Like they've done that bonehead design like I don't know 4 or 5 times now. Like I'm just kind of like, you got so many different options that you can do these masks in. Like they've never done like multiple designs that they've done in the past. No Don, no. They could have done like an OG color 8-bit, which is like a slightly light blue. They've never done a bloody. They've never done a grunge. Like a psycho variant. There's a whole bunch of variants they could do, but they keep doing the bonehead. I'm just like, stop it, Bill.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole supply and demand thing. People were overpaying because there just wasn't that many out,
Yeah.
and now there's a shitload of them out. I'm just glad I never fucking got into that mass collecting like that. I have two, and
Uh-huh.
it's just I have a 2.0, just the normal one, and the 2.1, just the normal one. So if they ever do come out with new masks, it's just going to be the red and white one, the basic design, and that's it. I don't need.
Yeah. Whenever they come out with the 3.0. See, this is my hope for camp, is that they come out with the 3.0 at camp to usher in the Mikey Clark album.
That'd be fucking fry. Yeah.
Yeah, because they've had the 2.1 for what, Mausoleum and Necro 2. Switch it up.
Yeah, I was at that Axmas show where they debuted the 2.1. That was fucking super dope to see because it was just like they came out and it was like, holy shit, these masks are fucking nuts. Like, I still like the 2.0 better, but the 2.1 is evil as fuck.
Yeah, I was iffy on it when I first saw the pictures, and I was like, And then when I saw it in person, I think it was like Astro or something like that. I was like, damn, yeah, these are fresh.
Yeah, it's so hard to get a picture of them when they're performing on stage because they move a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you got Joey, who doesn't really move around that much, but you got Billy and Lee crossing his path every 2 fucking seconds. I'm like, I remember I was trying to get a good picture. I'm like, fuck, man, I just want to get a good picture and so I can enjoy the fucking show.
Yeah. Yeah, and they skipped Xmas this year too because they did the 24-hour Christmas stream. Xmas
yeah,
stream.
that's right. Yeah,
they donated like 2,000, 3,000. I don't remember how much it was. A bunch of money to charity.
That's dope. It's always dope to see people doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Giving back. It's I was thinking this like a few days ago, last week or some shit. I was like, man, because I saw Axe like I think it was like when they were cutting a promo with Young Wicked for the tour or some shit. And I was like, man, I miss Axe in fucking Dickie suits.
Yeah, that old look, yeah.
I miss them in the Dickie suits. Not, now they're wearing jerseys and shit. I'm like, it just ain't the same.
Yeah, it was so clean and so classic,
Yeah, it really pulled off that like Leatherface serial killer vibe like so well too.
Yeah. It was like did they wear them at that Xmas?
Shit, I'd have to look at the pictures. I want to say yes.
I'm trying to remember if they dropped them with the 2.1s because I remember when I started seeing them not wearing them, and I was like, that's interesting because they were all wearing hoodies and a bunch of stuff, and I thought the new look was going to be a hoodie with gloves. You know what I mean? And I thought that's kind of cool, but yeah, now they started wearing like just shirts and like you said, like jerseys and stuff like that. Yeah, that classic look with the Dickies.
Yeah. So fucking dope. I want to say they were wearing the Dickies when they premiered it, but it's hard to fucking remember.
Yeah. I don't know if they just got tired of buying Dickies all the time.
Yeah.
Buying the custom Dickies with their names on it and AXE embroidered. They're just like, you know what, fuck it. We'll just wear our own shirts.
Right. Yeah. Fucking it's such a dope look though that they got. Now that they've started doing the Tuesday night streams, it's like they've kind of lost the mystique.
I was saying the same goddamn thing, bro.
They've lost the mystique. Like it's no longer there.
Yeah, when they first started doing it, I was telling them, I was like, I don't really like this. I think they're gonna lose it because that's what happened with ICP, man.
Mm-hmm.
Many VIPs, and now they're doing these streams. It's like, and you kind of realize,
Twisted too.
Yeah, it's like I don't know because like with AXC, it doesn't bother me as much because those dudes are like me. Like they love horror movies. They grew up with ICP and shit. Like they're us, but they can actually rap. You know what I mean? But like with some people, it's like you start learning about like Jay, and you're like, he likes Prince, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with Prince, but like it's like that's nothing like me. That's nothing like what I like. Like Jay, like doesn't watch horror movies. He doesn't do any of that shit. And so it's like I don't know. It's like I can't really relate, And Shaggy's like a Star Wars nerd. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I can't relate to that shit.
Right. Yeah. No, me either.
Like, damn. But also, like you said, it's just the mystique's no longer there. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like, damn.
I think our generation is the last generation without social media. We got to experience life without social media, and social media just ruined so much dope shit.
It does.
It really did. Like I get it. I get why they're doing it. They're just playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I play the fucking game. I'm on social media every day. I mean, who am I to talk? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's part of the problem is that like for artists to be, where they're at, they need to interact with their audience way more than they ever needed to back in the day.
Right.
Like way more.
The only way you could have that mystique is if you're a Drake who can just disappear and then just drop an album randomly and it sells 1 million copies automatically,
Yeah. I mean, the other thing that it's affected is wrestling, bro. Like, think about if we didn't know that CM Punk was going to come back to AEW. Can you imagine the pop that would have happened if people didn't know that shit was going to happen? Because it was leaked. Everybody knew it was going to happen.
So, all right. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. So that happens. People leak shit online before it happens.
Everybody knows that person's eventually going to show up. Just when is it going to happen? Like it happened with Daniel Bryan. Like there's a whole bunch of guys that were going to AEW that we knew before they ever debuted. So it's like if we hadn't have known, especially CM Punk, because people were begging for CM Punk to come back. If nobody knew and his just music hits and then he walks out, like Cult of Personality just comes on.
Right.
People still lost their minds, but if they hadn't have known, that would have been a huge pop. Like one we haven't seen since like the 90s, and Stone Cold fucking comes out, kicks everybody. Like that shit would have been wild.
That's funny. So there's spoilers on wrestling online before shit even happens.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's the same thing with like Cody Rhodes going right now. It's like, because Cody Rhodes apparently is going to show up at WrestleMania. Like if he shows up at WrestleMania, the whole thing is like, who gives a fuck? We've known for months that shit's going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So I don't really watch. The last time I watched wrestling was probably.
I didn't mean to turn this into a wrestling conversation, but
no, it's fine. Yeah. Because I fuck with wrestling. I got 2 belts right here. I got the Intercontinental and the Big Gold. They're in the bags, but
hell yeah.
I got the classic WWF Intercontinental and the WWE Big Gold belt right there. So I mean, I fucks with wrestling. It's just I don't really watch it. But the last time I was really watching it was probably 7-8 years ago, and I was heavy into NXT when like Finn Balor or whatever the fuck his name is was like the guy in NXT. He was the champion. Like that was the shit. Yeah. I was like, wow, like this is good wrestling right here. Like the storylines were fucking dope. Samoa Joe was in there. Yeah. Who else? Fucking I can't remember who else. But like the women's wrestling in NXT was fucking. I was like, this is the best women's wrestling I've ever fucking seen. And so that was probably the last time I forget where the fuck I was going with this.
Yeah, I mean, you probably wouldn't like NXT now then.
Is it bad?
They've done the new NXT 2.0, or basically like Triple H. I think Triple H has kind of lost control of NXT, which is why NXT was so good.
Yeah.
So they now they've got like this new like paint splatter logo and like they've just kind of like they've brought like main roster people down. Like Mandy Rose is now in NXT, and so is Dolph Ziggler is now the NXT champion. Like, yeah, like exactly. Like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Yeah,
Dolph Ziggler, they never fucked with Dolph like that though. Like he was it always seemed like he was on the edge of getting a push, but then they're like, "Ah, fuck this guy."
yeah, he was like the gatekeeper, where it's like you beat Dolph Ziggler, and you'll get to the.
I remember what I was gonna say. What is the appeal with Cody Rhodes? I thought that dude was always mad boring.
Well, when AEW started, he was cutting crazy promos, like crazy good promos, and I was like, damn, like he's like chanting like revolution, and like his promos were really really fucking good. But then towards the end, he started to get real vanilla, like what you're talking about, where it's just like, and honestly, AEW fans were like kind of like booing him at this point, and he didn't want to turn heel, and
But
so
even when he was in WWE, I thought like he was whack as fuck.
yeah, yeah.
I get it, he's Dusty's son, but you're fucking whack. Like I never saw the appeal.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, we'll see if he ends up in at WrestleMania this weekend or whenever this airs. I don't know, WrestleMania weekend. Uh, we'll see.
So he's. I thought he was on some fuck WWE shit.
Exactly. He was. He was. He was like, never go back to WWE, all this stuff. And then he even smashed Triple H's throne. Like literally took a sledgehammer and smashed it on TV. Like,
Yeah,
and now you're going back to WWE.
right.
It's like, if I'm really curious how the crowds are going to react to him. Are they going to cheer because hey, we got the AEW guy, or are they going to be like, man, fuck you? You said fuck us and all this shit. Now look, you're groveling, coming back. So
It'd be the shit if they booed him because he does suck.
yeah, that would be hilarious. Because the speculation is that he's going to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania,
Okay.
a hand-picked opponent by Vince McMahon.
Is Randy Orton still around?
He was. I don't know. I don't really watch a whole lot of WWE anymore.
Oh, okay.
I catch like the periphery stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
big shit that's going on. Other than that, I'm like, eh.
I saw Stone Cold is coming back. Steve
Yeah,
Austin's coming back for WrestleMania.
but he's not even gonna wrestle. He's gonna be on the KO show with Kevin Owens.
Oh, I thought he was. See the fucking headlines. If
That's how they get you, because they like, oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin's coming back, and then Rowan's like, oh, I'm gonna tune into WrestleMania. And then he watches, and it's just coming out to talk. Like, man, fuck you, WWE.
See, I wouldn't even want to watch him wrestle. Like if you just watch him walk around, that dude has a tough time just walking around. Like that dude got so beat up over the years.
Oh, it's like watching Undertaker wrestle Goldberg. It's like, oh, that was rough to watch.
I saw Triple H got heart failure and shit in it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he's done wrestling.
Yeah,
I was like, gee, you think it's the fucking steroid use that's causing his heart failure?
Rowan just coming for the throat.
Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I like Triple H. People like to give him fucking heat or whatever because, he married into the family or whatever, but he was the shit back in the day. DX and all that shit.
Yeah.
I fuck with Triple H, but it's sad to hear. I'm talking shit, but it's sad to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
We just had Razor Ramon die.
Oh man, that shit hit hard. I remember
Scott
seeing
Hall.
that. Yeah.
I thought he had got his shit together. I was reading some shit like he over like the quarantine and whatever. He fell off the wagon and shit.
I think he was fine. He was going to be at Astro. Like, just all that happened is he fell. He fell and he broke his hip, and so he just went in for like a hip surgery, and he had like some blood clots or something like that. Went to his heart. He had he had like 3 heart attacks, and that's what did it. Like, he would have been fine. All that happened was he fell.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you get old, I guess. You fall, and that could be it. It's not necessarily the fall, but it's all the complications of the fall.
Yeah. And the years of abusing your body with wrestling and whatever he did, booze or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that shit was fucking sad, man. Like, we're seeing our idols die. We're at
that age where it's like everybody that we knew, they're like slowly like tricking away. It's like, damn.
Scott Hall was the shit, man. The bad guy. I mean, come on. Razor Ramon. That's top. Yeah. He's top 5 Intercontinental champion for me, easily.
Yeah.
Him and Mr. Perfect are the two shit. maybe the top 2 Intercontinental champions, and they never held the big, they never held the heavyweight belt either. Such a shame because both those guys were super talented.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that goes to show that they didn't even need the belt in the first place.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, because they're so over, like they're the greats. Everybody talks about Mr. Perfect. I mean, obviously, we saw all the outpouring of love for Scott Hall when he passed away. Like, and Mr. Perfect was just so fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
His oversells are so fucking classic. Like,
hell yeah,
around
flip it over and shit. So dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just because I don't watch wrestling now doesn't mean I don't fuck with wrestling. I grew up on that shit.
Yeah.
Scott Hall was that fucking guy when he was Razor Ramon, had all the chains.
Yeah.
Wrestling the 1, 2, 3 Kid. He had both Intercontinental belts in that ladder match, holding them up. Yeah. That's like Thor holding 2 fucking hammers. So dope.
Yeah, I always love that picture of Scott Hall when he's like in the ghetto or whatever, and he's like sitting on that stoop with all them kids and shit. That photo is fucking classic, man.
Yep. Scott Hall was the shit, man. The NWO days, the Outsiders. I remember it was like, Scott, fucking Razor Ramon and Diesel are at fucking Monday Night Nitro, just sitting in the crowd. And at that point, everybody was like, man, fuck, WCW was whack. I mean, let's be real. WCW was just, I fucked with WWE or WWF at that time.
Well, back then I loved WCW.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, but once they moved over, it was like, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on?
Well, that's what I mean. Like when all that shit started to happen.
When that shit started to happen, that's when I flip back and forth just to see
because there was a while where like you would just watch WWE and then during commercials you'd flip over to WCW. Like, okay, back. But then when that shit started happening, it was keep it on WCW, flip back to WWE during commercials.
Yep. It went from it was 50-50 at one point, and then WCW started taking over. NWO, that's when they just, Hulk turned heel, was like, holy shit. Like, and he pulled it off so dope, like so good.
I think my favorite moment though from that era is when DDP is in the ring and they give him the NWO shirt and he puts it on and he shakes, their hand, and then he shakes Scott Hall's hand and he holds on to it, pulls him in for the time and runs out in the crowd, throws up. I was like, that moment is so fucking dope, man.
Classic.
Yeah.
I can remember Goldberg holding fucking Hogan up to win the belt on Monday Nitro. I still can't believe they did that on Nitro. And it was like the wackest match ever.
They had a lot of whack matches in WCW, but
it was a dope match in WCW when Shaggy 2 Dope was wrestling Billy Kidman for the Cruiserweight belt. Yeah. That was a good fucking match. And you believed for one split second that Shaggy was going to win the fucking Cruiserweight belt.
I think they wanted to put it on him at one point.
I remember watching that match. I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm going to watch Shaggy get the fucking Cruiserweight belt in WCW. Like, this is crazy. That was like when Billy Kidman was in the, what was that shit called? With Raven, the Ravens Flock.
Mm-hmm. Ravens Flock.
Man, wrestling back in the day was so fucking dope.
It was so fucking good. And that was also like the element of surprise that we were talking about earlier, where it's like, you didn't know some of this shit was going to happen when it happened. Like, who knew Hogan was going to fucking turn heel like that?
Right.
You see nobody in that venue because they were throwing all kinds of soda and pop and shit at him and everything else. Like, man.
And then you had the 1, 2, 3 Kid fucking join NWO. You're like, he was just in DX yesterday. Like, what the fuck happened?
That shit was dope.
Hell yeah. Wrestling back in the day was the shit, man. Yeah, I broke these belts out. I break them out every once in a while. A couple weeks ago, I came across, I don't even know how it fucking came across in my feed, but WWE put out a new Winged Eagle belt, and it looks so fucking fire. Yeah. It's dual plated. I'm like, oh man, tell me I'm going to drop a few $100 right now on another belt. And I haven't even watched wrestling in like 8 years.
Yeah, I can see the logos on them right now. One of them's got like the WWE old school. Oh, it's got the WWF on it. Dope.
Yeah.
I hate when they do. A lot of times they'll do like the WWE logo like that, and I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like, just use the WWF logo.
Fuck it. I didn't know we were doing show and tell tonight, but
damn. Yeah, that's dope.
yeah. Even got the curve in the belt and everything.
Yeah.
It's heavy too. These things weigh like 5 fucking pounds.
Yeah, so is that like a legit replica?
Yep.
Dope.
Bought it from WWE shop back in the day. Same with this one. Probably gonna be buying that Winged Eagle one at some point in the near future. Because these are my 3 favorite belts of all time.
Ugh.
With this one, I wish I would have got the WCW version though. I got the WWE one, but I wish I got the the OG big gold.
Yeah. Oh, you've got your name on it.
Yep.
That's dope.
Just so motherfuckers know, I am the champion of this shit, bitch.
It's funny, whenever I see that belt, obviously that's a WWE one, but the WCW one, I always think of Goldberg.
Yeah, like this belt is heavy as fuck. Heavier than the Intercontinental, for sure.
Damn. I think they even sold the NWO one at one time with the spray paint over it and shit.
Yep, they still do. Once I saw that new Winged Eagle belt, I went on WWE shop and I'm like, wow, they got the old school tag team belt from back in the day. That looks fucking super fresh, but they're so fucking, it's just a really expensive toy.
Yeah.
You know?
Just walk around the house with it like, I'm the champ.
I'm the champ, bitch. You see my name on this belt? Don't make me leg drop your ass.
Where's my sandwiches, woman?
I know. Where's my don't make me lay the fucking smack down.
Oh shit.
Like it's and I actually have a little mini belt somewhere. I forget which one it is. I don't remember. But I remember I tried looking for it and I couldn't fucking find it. And I'm like, oh, where the fuck did that one go?
That happens way too often for me. Like, I know I got this, but I don't know where.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember when I bought those belts, all my friends were like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, leave me alone, bro.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Let me fucking buy a belt. Come on. How much you spend on that? Like $400.
My bills are paid. Mind your business.
Right, exactly.
Mind your business.
Hell yeah. But we're an hour in. I'm going to wrap this bitch up. Luke, I appreciate you hopping on.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me on. Like, I know, like I said, I was like waiting for the invite. Like,
Yep. Had to get Luke on here.
Oh, yeah.
You got anything you want to plug? We talked about 5-piece earlier, but
yeah, on the Fago Lovers YouTube channel every Thursday, 8:00. Actually, just a couple days ago, I now own LukeTheGoon.com. So go to LukeTheGoon.com. It'll take you right to my YouTube page for now. I don't know what else I'll do with it. UndergroundCatacombs.com. Join the community. On YouTube, I'm doing this is not juggler related at all, but I'm doing a Bruce Lee series with Mike Sears. We're going to be reviewing all of Bruce Lee's films. I believe the first episode will be up Monday. So watch that series, please. It's a little bit different.
Bruce Lee's shit. Those movies are still fire to this day.
Hell yeah.
Super dope. All right, Luke, appreciate you hopping on. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in right now. Much fucking love. I'm Rome Bone of the Beneath the Dirt podcast. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.